You may have noticed that Americans can be quite expressive with our emotions. We tend to say how we're feeling as well as show how we're feeling. That applies to showing excitement. So in today's lesson, I'm sharing how we tend to show excitement in American languaculture. If you're ready, let's get started. So let's first look at some phrases we use to show excitement. In neutral situations, you can say, I'm so excited to do XYZ. I'm so excited to go kayaking in Maine this weekend. It's supposed to be beautiful out. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you for coffee tomorrow. Okay, now what about informal contexts? Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the company-wide retreat. It should be a good time. Excited for it. Excited for the upcoming VC meeting. All right, and now let's look at casual settings. So stoked. So stoked for next weekend's barbecue. It'll be amazing to see everyone finally. So psyched. I'm so psyched for the basketball game tonight. My two favorite teams are facing off. Great. So I'd like for you to practice those expressions, and you can use the example sentences that I provided, or you can come up with your own. That might be another challenge. And the next challenge is to use these phrases in the correct context. For neutral, you can use them in both casual and professional settings, but be mindful of using the casual expressions in informal settings and use the formal expressions in the professional contexts. As you know, communication is context dependent. And so once you've practiced those expressions and you've used your own phrases, you can add some nonverbal cues into the mix as well, because that's also part of communication, the verbal and the nonverbal. So now let's take a look at the nonverbal expressions that we use to show excitement in American languaculture. Smiling. So having a natural smile on your face can show excitement. And this is not my smile. It's not Joe's smile. It's your smile. Because everyone has a different smile that is unique to them. So use your own smile, whatever that is. And that's a great way to show excitement and delight and looking forward to something. And the size of the smile usually reflects how excited you are. So typically speaking, the wider the smile, the more excited you are. And everyone will have a different width of a smile, right? Some people might have a smaller smile. Some people might have a wider, broader smile. And again, that is based on your authentic smile. So just you do you. But the point is, the bigger the smile, the more excitement is typically felt and shown, right? And humans are really good and really excellent at detecting fake smiles from real ones. So a real sincere smile is what will give away whether or not you truly are excited or not. All right, the next one is eyes and eyebrows. So when we're excited, our eyes tend to get a little bit bigger. In fact, pupils even tend to dilate. So if you're close enough to the person, you might even see their pupils getting a little bit bigger, and that's a sign of excitement. Same with the eyebrows being lifted when we're happy and excited. We sort of raise them, right? And so that's a great nonverbal gesture to use to show excitement as well. When someone smiles with raised eyebrows, that generally means that they are genuinely looking forward to something. All right, so now what about hand gestures? Well, we use big sweeping hand gestures, kind of like this, when we're excited, right? And we might use them more frequently than we would in just typical conversation. Sometimes they might even get a little too wild, again, depending on the person, right? If the person is very expressive with their body language and with their hands, then they might even take it up a notch. and be a little bit more expressive when they're excited about something, right? And so these are generally open and sweeping gestures like this, right? Some people might even reach their arms out in front of them as if to almost hug the person in front of them, right? And you're just sort of reaching them out into the air. And again, that would probably be more appropriate in a casual, informal setting to be reaching your arms up and showing excitement. We wouldn't really see that in a professional context very much, but in professional context, you can still show excitement and delight by using your nonverbals and hand gestures. All right, and then the last one is bouncing. Believe it or not, some people might also bounce when they're excited. So this could be as they're seated, it could be bouncing as they walk, like a pep in their step, but it could also be when they're just standing in place, they might bounce a little bit. And so you might notice that they might not even know that they're doing it, but they're so excited and looking forward to something, and maybe they're delighted to see you, which I'm sure that is the case, they might bounce. Right? So in terms of context, what about with these nonverbal gestures? Well, all of these can be used in both formal and informal settings, except for the raising the hands up in the air, like doing an air hug, because it's a little bit over the top in terms of hand gestures. And the other one is bouncing, right? The bouncing you really want to reserve for the casual settings and more informal contexts. That would be most appropriate there. So those are ways to show excitement in American Languaculture. We looked at both verbal expressions as well as nonverbal gestures, because as you know, both our words and nonverbals can show excitement. When used together, they can convey the emotion more powerfully. So practice these phrases with your nonverbal gestures, and you'll immediately notice and feel the difference. And so will the people that you're communicating with. All right, advanced English learners, thank you so much for joining me for this lesson. The full transcript of the lesson can be found on our blog, so be sure to check out advancedenglish.co/blog. And if you prefer to listen to this lesson, then check out our podcast. It's available on our website, and if you feel so inclined, you can leave us a nice review if you enjoy it. So how do you show excitement when speaking in English? Feel free to share that with us in the comments down below. I will see you in the next one where we're going to continue advancing your English together. Until then, keep up the awesome work, and I'll see you soon.